Om Shanno Mitrasyam Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanno Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmani Namaste Vayo Tvameva Prachaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Prachaksham Brahma Vadishyami Rutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we are going to explain the planets and the three planes. Most of the things you know already. I explained this particular lesson many times, but once again I am explaining to you in a very brief manner. You follow it very carefully. It is one sort of refreshing the past syllabus. Sun in the horoscope indicates the I am in you. It is so simple. Sun in the horoscope indicates I am in you. The moon indicates the mind. The Mars indicates the courage. Mercury indicates the intellect. Jupiter indicates the wisdom. Venus indicates the love. And Saturn indicates the experience in you. This is the keyboard we have to understand properly. Next, you will begin to behave in harmonious terms with these planets. So, find about your horoscope. That is number one. Understand the qualities of the planets, the I am consciousness, the mind, the courage, the intellect, the wisdom, and the principle of love, and a proper experience and discipline and tolerance. All these things are the qualities of these planets. Now we have to practice those things one by one. In some places we are very strong, in some places we are very weak. It is quite common with every human being. So where we are strong, we have to utilize those qualities properly for our progress. Where we are weak, not so strong, we have to work it out with a strategy, with a plan, with a discipline, with a sadhana, with a practice, and we should try to overcome those things. Whether we know the horoscope or not, whether we have the horoscope or not, that is not an important thing here. Then what about the other planets? Then the higher masters, whom you call Uranus and Neptune, begin to work. Once you understand this keyboard, once you understand how to operate this keyboard, how to practice these qualities of the planets in our life, then the Uranus and Neptune, they will come to the picture. Until then, the planets do not begin to work in our horoscope because they belong to the group called Organized Sector Work Group. Until then, these planets won't work on us because they belong to the Organized Sector Work Group. They are like the air pilots and railway drivers. They do not know you, but they can take you on a journey when you are ready in time at the station or airport. They are like the pilots and the drivers of the aeroplane or the train. They stay in the station. The flight stays in the airport. The pilot sits in the flight, and the driver of the train, he sits in the train. So there is a timetable. According to the timetable, you have to reach the airport or the railway station and get into the train or the flight. Then the responsibility of the pilot is to take us to our destination journey. That is their duty. It means no pilot knows us personally, but he takes all the persons to their own destinations. This is a very beautiful thing to understand. No train driver or no pilot, aeroplane flight, they don't know us individually by name or by person, whatever it may be. But they will take every one of us, and they help us to go to the journey, to make a comfortable journey. That's how Uranus and Neptune works and Pluto works in that plane. That we have to understand. They do not know you, but they can take you on a journey when you are ready in the time at the station airport. But after you have entered the initiation of the cosmic order, you are also enrolled as a staff member of the railway drivers or the pilots. When the senior air pilots begin to talk to you and explain to you everything about the keyboard, this is what the planets in your horoscope do when you reach the soul level. So it is very important. First thing is they will help you, even though they don't know any one of us. They will help you to take us to the destination. That is number one. Number two, when we wanted to become the pilots, junior pilots, the senior pilots will come us and they will help us. They will guide us. They will teach us how to drive or how to drive the flight or whatever it may be, the flight or the train, whatever it may be. And they, as their juniors, we will work under them. Then, after some time, we will become the seniors. And then we will guide our juniors. That's how the life goes in the evolution. What Master is telling here, in the same way, that is what the planets in your horoscope do when you reach the soul level. When you reach the soul level, at the first stage, they will give you the punishments, or they will give you the training. They will put you under many tests and trials. And then when we pass all the tests and trials, and then we will go to the next level, then the planets work with us as our guides and masters and helpers to guide us into the right direction. After that, when we are there at the third step, and they will become our friends, and they will become our masters, and they will become our guides, and they will help us, they will travel with us to our next journey. That's the most important lesson given by the master. Then, understand that every part in our body is governed by the planets in the three planes. This is master told it many times. Every part in our body is governed by the planet in three planes. How they work in the three planes? The plane of, what are the three planes? The plane of matter, the plane of force, and the plane of intelligence. All the planets works on the three planes, the plane of matter, force, and intelligence. Matter is it is a beautiful expression of the master. Just listen to it carefully. Matter is controlled by planets. Matter is controlled by planets. Force is directed by the planets. Matter is controlled and force is directed by the planets. And intelligences are tackled by the planets. Matter is controlled, forces are directed, and intelligences are tackled by the planets in the three different planes. The planet works in three different planes with the help of three planes of existence. Upon the matter of your body, they work in the material plane. Upon the force of your vital functions, they work in a different manner. They govern the health and ill health in your constitution. They govern both health and the ill health in our constitution. They indicate when your health will be at stake. When you take a suggestion and lead a proper life, there will be no ill health at all, and the astrologer fails in prediction. On the level of consciousness, they will be your masters, guides, and helpers. So they indicate the health and ill health. When the proper care is taken, we can be get rid off from the ill health problems. You may ask you, if it is a very big issue like cancer or some other problems, when they are indicated in the horoscope, when we come to know before many years, is it possible to overcome the diseases like cancer? So here we have to understand a lot of things when we deal with the chronic diseases. It is a different science, it depends upon the law of karma. So when we come to the exact place where we deal with the karma and the planets, then I will make you understand how planets works and what are the limitations. When karma takes the place and come into the picture, is it a a very deep karma or a surface karma, or is to be totally experienced, or is there any possibility to neutralize the karma? All these things is a different science. Definitely we will go there. That is very important to us in our life to learn the correspondence, the relation between karma and the planets. Then I will make you understand about these chronic diseases. Okay. Till then we have to understand, when we know a little bit early, then there is a possibility to overcome those problems up to the maximum extent, not to the 100%. You remember that. Then when we reach the level of consciousness, they will be our masters and guide and helpers of the planets. Next, see how the mechanism of the cerebrospinal nervous system is arranged by planets. The master is going a little bit deeper. This is all related to the medical astrology, and frankly speaking, medical astrology is much more important than the predictive astrology, and it is a separate branch in astrology. Medical astrology is very, very important. If any one of you are interested to learn medical astrology, I can guide you. I cannot teach you the lessons like this because of the time constraints and the time. These are the problem with my routine. But I can guide you. With will suggest you some good books. Any doubts are there, I will try to clarify you if form as a group. But medical astrology is very difficult to understand. You have to very strong in the basics of astrology. You should be very strong, and we should gather some hundreds of horoscopes of different patients with different health problems, and we have to make a study like a research. If any group is there, I tried with Indian group, but they are expecting the lessons from me in the same way I am explaining in the spiritual astrology, but I cannot find time to do that. If anybody comes forward, I can guide. Okay. Then the mechanism of the cerebrospinal nervous system is arranged by the planets. The lungs are made up of physical matter. This is a subtle difference between the matter and force and consciousness. You just try to understand this. Master is explaining very beautifully. The lungs are made up of physical matter. It is very simple to understand. But the respiration is on the plane of force. Generally we call a common word breathing. But we understand the mechanism behind it. Lungs are of the physical matter, but respiration is on the plane of force. The vocal cords are arranged on the physical plane, but the voice is produced on the mental and vocal planes. The vocal cords are physical, but the voice is produced both on the mental and vocal planes. Some voice with consciousness is being called the voiceness. The syllables are arranged along the spinal column, and the pronunciation of each syllable through our vocal cord is arranged in the different rungs of the spinal column. This is a separate science about this. All these syllables are arranged in the spinal column. This is not a small statement. Here, the science of music also come into the picture. What is the vertebral column? The flute in Lord Krishna's hand is a symbolism of the vertical. The lyre, L-Y-R-E, lyre or veena, this is also veena, the musical instruments what you see in the Indian musical orchestra. The English word is lyre, L-Y-R-E, I think. I am not sure about it. I will check and tell you once again in my next class. This is the vertical column is the central part of that veena, and there are two heads, both sides. One head is the Muladhara and the lower parts, and the other head of the veena is or head, Sahasrara part. That's how it is symbolized. So, in the vertebral column, all these letters, all syllables are arranged in a keyboard. If there is any problem with any vertebral column in any vertebra, that particular sign we will find difficult to pronounce that particular sound. This is the problem. So there is a book by Arthur Avalon, Sir John Woodruff, The Garland of Letters. I am repeating again. There is a book by Sir John Woodruff. The name of the book is The Garland of Letters. In that he explained, this is a translation of a Sanskrit scripture, Sanskrit book. It's a wonderful book, The Garland of Letters. Then in that book he explained very beautifully about the vertebral column and all the syllables and the vertebra, about the keyboard and everything. If you are interested in the mantra, science of mantra, you can read that. The syllables are arranged along the spinal column, and the pronunciation of each syllable through our vocal cord is arranged in the different rungs of the spinal column. The mind makes an automatic attempt of the computer mechanism, and whenever there is an attempt from the mind, the vocal cords produce the sound, and the tongue and the articulating mechanism produce the syllable. But the thought should be produced in the mind to speak something, and then through the nervous system it will be carried away to the vocal cords and to the spinal column through the nervous system, and vocal cords produce the sound, and the tongue and the articulating mechanism produce the syllable. This is the mechanism. So that's why what we used to tell the people in all the schools, in all the yoga schools in India, we used to tell you to chant Om. Chant Om. Whenever we are chanting Om, as per Master E.K. has given a clear instruction how to chant Om. When you are taking breath in, chant Om mentally when you are breathing in, and then when you are breathing out, chant Om vocally outside. I am repeating again. When we want to chant Om, breathe in first. When you are breathing in, chant Om mentally, and when you are breathing out, chant Om vocally, and then feel like the Om is coming from your root chakra slowly and passing through your spinal cord and coming out through your mouth, through the Visuddhi chakra or throat center. When you are all the time, when you are chanting Om outside, put all your focus on the sound and listen to the sound, and the circle will be completed. This is how to chant the Om. There are many methods of chanting Om. I explained in many of my lectures. You try to go back and listen to it. Otherwise, I will record once again how to chant the Om, how many ways of chanting Om, how to develop going into the deep meditation with the method of chanting Om. All the things I will explain later. Okay, so this is the thing about the planets and the mechanism and how they work on the spiritual level and on the consciousness level. These are the things we have to understand. The more we develop our awareness towards planets, the more the planets make their presence felt by us. The more we develop our awareness towards the planets, the more the planets make their presence felt by us. How to develop the awareness? To practice the qualities, the original qualities of the planets, and to think about the planets, to speak about the planets, and instead of carrying away by the emotions or other things, we have to understand the philosophy of astrology, understand the background of astrology and purpose of astrology, understand the sign, understand the qualities of the signs and the planets. They offer their lessons to us. We will be receiving the eternal wisdom that exists between planets and planets, between the planets and the sun, and between two solar systems. So you see the journey, how it goes. First of all, we receive the lessons from them. We receive the eternal wisdom existing between the planets and the planets, and the planets and the solar system, and between the two solar systems. This part of astrology you can find in the book of Spiritual Astrology of the Master. In Indian scriptures, there are so many allegories, there were so many stories regarding the relationship between the planet and the planet, relationship between the planet and solar system, and between two solar systems. Master explained with examples of so many stories from the scriptures in a symbolic way. Definitely we are going to be there when we come to the third level. The actual this is only an introduction to spiritual astrology. What we are dealing here is introduction to spiritual astrology only. The actual spirit of spiritual astrology is an ocean, but it is a sweet ocean. Actual spiritual astrology is like a ocean, but it is not. It is a sweet ocean, not with the ocean with salt water. Let us try to enter into it, not by merely reading the books of astrology, but reading the one book which is yourself. One book is the word used by Madame Blavatsky. One book is nothing but ourself. It is the eternal thing. That's what Madame Blavatsky explained in her Secret Doctrine. She called it as one manuscript. Master is repeating that. Let us try to enter into it, not by merely reading books of astrology, but by reading the one book which is yourself. How to go into it. Try to start with the meditation, the 12 signs in the corresponding parts of your body, and try to meditate the qualities of the 12 planets, and try to understand the purpose of the planets in the creation. Try to understand the solar systems. Try to understand the Earth planet and the 5 elements, relationship between ourselves with the 5 elements, and how to understand the laws of the nature and how to live with the nature. If you understand all these things, means understand ourselves, then only we can be prepared, we will be prepared to understand the real science of spiritual astrology. That is what Master said. This is also one of the important lessons. And then in the next lesson, we will go to the chapter How Do Planets Work. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.